We're hoping to get started off this week with the farmers market, but it's not going to be open until next Thursday. They just had a lineup. The big thing was the ticket printing and all the promotional stuff, printing of that. It was going to take another week, so that's the big thing there. But I just want to pass around. This is sample tickets of the actual company that Barb was talking about who's already doing it. But you can see there, that's a full book of tickets. And so there's four, you can buy a maximum of 4 tickets that can be used all at once. It can be used one every week, however you guys want to use it. The only stipulation is you just can't buy any more than 4 tickets. So, but after 4 tickets, you can always pay cash too at the stand. That's completely fine. The stand is going to be at 115th and Dodge, Miracle Hills area. When they said Miracle Hills earlier, I was like, I'm still kind of new to
It's
Omaha.
north of Dodge.
Yes, north of Dodge.
And is it Winninghof's?
Yes.
Can you go to Winninghof's?
That I'm not for sure of yet. But that was a couple of people have asked that question of if you can use the tickets at Winninghof's, and I'm still in the process.
Close to Winninghof's.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's so handy right there too. So I'll get back to. I'll send out an email about that when I do find that out, because you're not the only one that asked. So.
And each unit's worth $5 of produce, right?
Well, you'll see on there that it says $6. So you guys will only pay $5 for the tickets, but yeah, you get $6 worth of produce with that ticket.
So then, does the agency benefit in some way from that, or kind of what is? I guess my question is, what kind of was the point? Because we're paying $5 for a $6 ticket, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the reason that I would encourage my staff to do this?
Healthy eating.
Yeah, the big thing is with wellness. You know, we're just trying to get people to have more opportunities to eat healthy. And if you have every week, if you're going to get $6 worth of produce, that's a good chunk of produce that's hopefully going to help encourage you guys to eat a lot of fresh healthy things. We are, as a wellness committee, stipending the first 100 tickets. So that is coming out of our budget, just because we realize that this is going to, hopefully spur some people on some healthy activities and eating. So yeah, so it's it's something that it's going to run for 4 weeks, and we hope you guys buy tickets. Some of you already have, so it's exciting. We do still have tickets remaining. So feel free to spread the word or buy tickets. I probably will have the actual tickets in hand, maybe even today, maybe tomorrow. So we might start promoting it more, or might start going around from desk to desk asking people if they want to buy tickets. We'll see.
Go to you, pay you?
Yes.
Okay.
We can't.
Just write to Travis Lucas.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want your name on it too?
I have a Swiss account. I put it in and never seen my name. No.
By the way,
just give it to this one.
your yellow sheet can be used as your own scorekeeping sheet, because I had a column there for your earned points. So if you're going to keep track of how many points you earn, we're going to keep track too through sign-in sheets, and Travis will keep track of who buys coupons. We'll keep track of who views the videos online. But if you want to keep track yourself, you have your yellow sheet to do that. We're working on prizes, but we'll have some fairly nice prizes that we've gotten some donated. We expect to buy some that will be very nice. So as soon as we completely identify all the prizes, hopefully the next week we will announce those as well. Okay? And I need to run. My apologies.
That's okay. Thanks, Barb.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so I'll get started. So this presentation I first gave to a group of retirees, we'll call them, who were getting like vouchers for like $15 at the farmers markets. And so they're like, what can we do with all these vouchers? We need recipes, that kind of stuff. But I thought you guys would enjoy it because it'll get you excited about some fresh produce and the benefits of eating healthy. So just to kind of get us thinking about what's going to be in peak this season, do you think that sweet corn or broccoli peaks in July? Sweet corn, yeah, broccoli can grow all year round, but it's best in October through April. And I have it in my garden, and I cannot control the ants. They're like eating it down to the stalk. I cannot believe it.
Your broccoli?
My broccoli leaves, yes.
Do you have yuccas or some peonies or something around there?
No, it's just kind of out by, and I've tried this stuff, and you can only use it like once or twice, so I might not get any broccoli, but at least they're eating that, not something else, I guess, huh?
You have healthy ants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which fruit has a short summer growing season, cherries or apples?
Cherry.
Cherries, yes, and I saw some in the store the other day, looked really good. And which vegetable has a growing season that peaks in the winter, zucchini or turnips? Turnips, because they grow underground. So some healthy summer buzzwords that, to me, I think are the benefits of summertime eating. Natural, you know, they can use less pesticides, less fertilizers, all that stuff that can be cancer causing to get fresh fruit. So you're going to get less of those things in your body. It's fresh, so the flavor is going to be much better. Like say you go buy a fresh, I got a peach from Wemminghoff's at the farmer's market a couple weeks ago, and it was just like candy, so sweet, so good. But if you go to the store, you just don't get that flavor because of, you know, a lot of things. But freshness is a big one there. So I think it's easier to eat healthy in the summer because things just taste so much better if you get them fresh. It's going to be more budget friendly, something, so obviously not everything's cheaper at the farmer's market. But the other thing is you're supporting local farmers, which is a big thing. Also with farmers markets is you're supporting the people who grow it here, not somebody who sold it somewhere else and it came to Omaha and that kind of thing. So that's another big thing. And then just light, you know, it's so hot outside, you don't want a heavy meal. So if you have some, you can just, you know, put some veggies on the grill or something like that and maybe not even eat protein. It's not so heavy and maybe you still feel like going out for a walk even though it's still 90 degrees at 8 o'clock. You don't have a huge heavy steak in your stomach that you can't get off the couch. That kind of stuff. So those are some things to think about as we're going through. People always ask what counts as a serving, so I just thought I'd throw this slide in case you guys don't know. They recommend to eat 5 servings a day because that's a more attainable number, but really to get all of our vitamins and minerals, we should get 20 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. So just kind of think about that. So I still take a vitamin even though I try to eat as many fruits and vegetables as I can. Juice, we should really only drink 4 ounces a day, just because of the high sugar content, even if it's 100% fruit juice. Raw vegetables, other than lettuce, it's going to be half a cup. But if it's something raw like lettuce, a whole cup is a serving. Grains, 1 slice of bread, 4 ounces of meat, so around the size of a deck of cards or a little bit larger. And then a piece of fruit that's the size of a tennis ball or so. So if you get a huge apple, really only half of that is a fruit serving. But you can eat the whole thing, it just counts as 2. You know, just FYI there. So I put a list in here of the farmers markets. I might have missed a couple. Tomato, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that one. It's all year round on 156th and West Center.
It's in that building that sits up there on the...
Yeah, there's like a coffee retailer right next. So that one's open all year round. I've never been there, but I should check it out this winter. Then there's the outdoor market at Midtown Crossing. I'm assuming that one's Saturday. I know Village Point is Saturday.
Actually,
Midtown.
Sunday.
Exarban Village is Sunday. Yeah. And then Old Market, 11th and Jackson, that's Saturday. And then there's one in Florence, Benson, and then we talked about Wemminghoff's. And I put a website down at the bottom. It's Extension's website. They have some more information on farmers markets in case you want to know.
Well, and just a little plug, which is totally probably inappropriate, but anyway, there's a farmer who has a stand up here by the auto shop, you know.
Yeah.
I went to high school with him and he lives in my hometown, so, and he's a really great guy, so.
Well, and that just goes right into
there.
buying fresh and buying local,
Oh, yeah.
supporting people you know. Because we've met I met the lady at Wemminghoff's at a farmer's market, but I was just more interested because we were maybe going to be using her, and you just get to know them and you want to support people you know and that kind of thing. So I think that's another huge reason to support farmers markets. So like Travis said, ours is going to start next week. This I think is important before you go to a farmer's market, to think about finding recipes that you want to use, making grocery lists, things like that, because sometimes you get there and then all of a sudden you see all this produce and you get it home and you're like, what am I going to do with this? You know, like random, like I got Swiss chard or greens a couple of weeks ago, and it was just like, I got it because I was excited about it, but I didn't have a recipe. So it's important to, you know, be on the ball about that either before or when you get home, because these obviously aren't going to last forever. So, and you might have to use them more than one time, the amount of, that you buy. So I think recipes and thinking about what you want before you go is important. You know, if you post or copy the dates and times and that kind of thing in the farmers markets, that way you know ahead of time. Say you wake up Saturday morning and you want to go, then you could look at your list. Another important thing is to have cash, because a lot of them don't run credit cards or take checks, so that's important. Your sunscreen, you don't have to, but those recyclable bags, you know, those sunscreen, all that good stuff to think about. Another point I thought would be good is to take your kids or your grandkids, because a lot of times in our obesity educations, at least I do, I'm sure Travis does too, is I usually recommend to parents, take your kids to farmers markets, because kids have a hard time, you guys probably know, liking fruits and vegetables. So if they see them and there's more fun stuff to do and it's an activity, they might get more excited about them, and you'll promote healthy eating with them also. So it's another good family. It could be free if you didn't buy anything, activity that you could do with them. And then if you buy in bulk or buy unusual items, you might be able to save money because they might not be able to sell as much of that. So that's another thing you could think about when you're looking at recipes, is trying to, or just trying something you haven't tried before. You know, different. A lot of people, research has shown a lot of people eat the same kinds of food over and over again. So we're not getting a variety of vitamins and minerals because we eat almost the same. Our diets are very similar. So the more variety you can add, you're also going to benefit from that.
Also, too, I know I went to farmers market and split things with people, because sometimes it is a lot, you know, and so that's something that I've done in the past too. It's really nice to, not so overwhelming to when you get a whole bunch of Swiss chard or something like that.
Or if, like, if the buyer is selling it in like this, if you ask him, can I buy half of this for half the price? Because it was 4 garlic, not cloves, but the whole thing for $2, but I'm like, I'm never going to use that much garlic. So I just asked them, and they're like, yeah, no problem. You know, they want to make the sale too. So, or you can freeze it. A lot of stuff you can freeze. So, why eat fruits and vegetables? Obviously, we know there's health benefits. It's the original fast food. You can, you know, grab a piece of fruit and eat that just as easily as grabbing a bag of chips from the vending machine. They're important part of our diet that can protect us from heart disease, bone loss, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and some cancers such as colorectal. Colorectal is one of them because of the fiber. You know, the healthier our GI tract is, the more fiber we eat, the more healthier our GI tract's going to be. But also, kind of along the same note, like I was saying, the less pesticides and things that are added to our fruits, the lower our risk of cancer is, because there's less free radicals in our body that are going to cause cancer. So the less that's done to your food before you eat it, the healthier it's going to be for you, for a lot of different reasons. Why eat fruits and vegetables? Another big one is fiber. So not only for a healthy GI tract, that Travis and I also talked to a lot of people about fiber for a healthy GI tract. Also because it's going to keep our stomachs full longer, takes longer to digest, so you won't feel hungry as fast. Also, I kind of plug for low-income people, you don't have to buy as much food if you're not hungry as often. You know, so you're spending less money on food, you're not generally hungry as often. And then fruits and vegetables are also a natural source of our vitamins A, C, E, calcium. And the more variety you can eat in your diet, you know, the rainbow, the more vitamins you're going to get. And thus, the healthier you're going to be. Less sick, less often, and that kind of stuff. So these are just some suggestions that you can add more fruits and vegetables into your diet, because I get asked that a lot. So something as easy as a baked potato, you can make it in the microwave, even you don't turn your oven on. You know, you could put a little, maybe low sodium chili, broccoli, cheese, and mushrooms. Get 2 vegetables in that way. You can always put vegetables on pizza. Mushrooms, peppers, olives, broccoli, pineapple, you know, that list is endless. Try a sweet potato with cinnamon. Obviously cinnamon is not a vegetable, but the darker the color, the more vitamins. So sweet potatoes are going to have a lot more vitamins for us than a white potato. Or now I've seen like purple potatoes, yellow potatoes, even those are going to be a lot more vitamin rich than white potatoes. So trying to get away from the plain old white potato is a good suggestion. Make vegetable stir fry. You know, you can put any kind of vegetables you like in there. And sometimes that's another easy way to kind of use up, if you've been eating vegetables all week, just throw them in to make your sauce and kind of get them used up that way. You can always bake muffins with zucchinis, pumpkins, that kind of thing. Put bananas or berries in your hot or cold cereal. Make fruit parfaits, you know, that kind of stuff. If we're going to get 5 servings of fruits and vegetables, then we pretty much need to get them in at every meal, if not 2 if you don't eat snacks. So breakfast is a good way to start the day off. Or a fruit smoothie, for that matter, for breakfast, if anybody likes those. Have a veggie pocket or wrap. I don't know if anybody likes those little pitas. You can cut in half and put, you know, lettuce and maybe a little tuna salad or carrots or anything you like in there. And then this, I saw online an easy recipe for a pasta salad. So just use Italian dressing and then stick your favorite like zucchini, carrots, tomatoes, anything you have in with that. You can make a quick pasta salad. And I already said fruit smoothies, so just some suggestions there. This I thought was interesting. Obviously you could do any of the top category with any of the melons because they're pretty similar. But the shopping tips, I think it's hard to really buy a melon that's good. And obviously you can ask the grower if you're at a farmer's market, but maybe you're in the grocery store. You know, these are, so if you're shopping for watermelon, you want it to look firm, but then it sounds hollow when you knock it. And then unblemished skin is another important thing there. If you're going to buy honeydew, you want to pick a melon with freckling on the rind. That's going to indicate sweetness. I know I've bought multiple honeydews that are just no flavor at all. So that freckling, looking for that. And then cantaloupe, you want it to give slightly when squeezed and smell slightly sweet. I think cantaloupe is one of the hardest ones to buy. So I usually try to ask somebody, but if it gives and kind of smells sweet, then that should be a good melon for you. So, and then this next, I kind of went into just putting some recipes in here based on things that are often at farmers markets that maybe some people don't know or don't typically cook with. So eggplant is one. I just kind of put down the left-hand column just some interesting facts about eggplants. It's a cousin to tomatoes, peppers, and potatoes, so it's high in vitamins A, C, and potassium. And there's a male and a female, which I thought was very interesting. So the male is more round on the bottom, and the female is more like a, kind of like an eyebrow almost shaped. And the male is the better one because it has less seeds to cut out. So FYI on that. They're best from July till October, so now should be getting some really good eggplant. Grilling these is they're really good. You know, just cut it in half, put a little onion. A lot of these, you know, like eggplant, squash, zucchini. You can do olive oil, salt, and pepper, and just grill them. And the grill gives it a lot of really good flavor without adding too much fat or anything. Or you can stuff it, you know, scoop up the middle and put some cheese stuffing in there. Obviously going to be a little higher in fat, but you're still getting a vegetable. So you could put it in salsa if you're dairying, or put it in lasagna, you know, slice it really thin, and you could rotate layers, noodles with eggplant versus noodles. So you'd get less carbohydrate there. What else? So if you store these, you do want to keep them in your refrigerator or a cool, dry place. And you can cut off the top and the bottom and dice them if you want to put them in like this ratatouille is a very good recipe because it uses eggplant, zucchini, pepper, mushrooms, tomato, lots of vegetables that you might get at the farmer's market. And you could always make some and freeze it, you know, or but and then garlic too. Fresh garlic is so much better than non-fresh. So that's another thing you could buy at the farmer's market. So that's why I like this recipe. Plus it's purple, we don't get in a lot of purple vegetables, so we're gonna get a different vitamin variety there. Zucchini, a lot of people know how to make zucchini bread, or maybe use zucchini, but this zesty skillet zucchini I thought really sounded good. It's pretty similar to that ratatouille, only it's got some basil in there, a little bit of tomato juice, so it's more of a tomato-y kind of a meal. And then I was thinking if you want to add protein in there, you know, you could add black beans, if anybody likes tofu, you could use that, or you could, you know, grill chicken and or boil some chicken or whatever, dice that, put that in there. So that's another good one. You're going to get 2 or 3 different vegetables in there. Or, you know, you can cook zucchini anyway. You can steam, boil, grill. You can stuff it like we were talking about with the eggplant. You can bake it or frying, which obviously I put last on the list for a reason. Or you can put it in things like souffles, that kind of stuff. So zucchini is very versatile, and I think it's because it doesn't have a lot of flavor itself. So it's going to take a lot of the flavor of what you cook it with. Tomatoes, these are not that hard for people to get in, especially if they're fresh. They have so much good flavor. I don't know if anyone ever tried like heirloom tomatoes. You know, they're going to be yellow or 2 different colors. Those have really good flavor, and they have those at a lot of farmers markets too. Those are great. Tomatoes are going to be high in vitamin C and A, and like I was saying, they're very versatile. You can use them fresh, you can bake them, you can stew them, you can can them. A lot of people grow them at home, but those heirloom tomatoes are worth giving a shot, even if you grow your own at home. Plus, there's so many different kinds, you know, just to use in so many different ways. So I put a tomato salsa recipe up there. It's a little bit different. It's got some peppers in there. If those are too hot for you, obviously you wouldn't have to use them. But fresh salsa is another thing that's so good. And this one you heat. The one I like to make, you don't heat at all. So you could do all these things and just keep it fresh if you wanted to. So it just depends on if you like your tomatoes, you know, more cooked or more firm. So this next one, crab stuffed tomatoes, sounds wonderful to me. Get yourself some of that imitation crab, not that expensive. Some tomatoes. It's got onion and carrot. It's also got a little mayo or Miracle Whip in there. Lemon juice, nutmeg. So it's going to be a little sweet. But basically, you kind of mix all those things together, hollow out your tomato, put them in there, and then I think they say bake. No, chill. Probably because it's got that mayonnaise in there, so you don't bake it. It's more of a cold thing. So I think that would be really good on a hot summer night. Is a cold dish. So, and then so thinking of stuffed things, and I thought of stuffed peppers. And this one is something that you do cook, but it's got black beans, and that's why I picked it, because it's a vegetable protein, so it's going to be much lower in fat. So, but if you do not like black beans, you could always put like ground turkey or ground hamburger or something like that instead. But this one's got the rice. If you've made stuffed peppers, you've probably made something like this before. So you're going to do a similar thing, mix together. And then this one, I didn't put at the bottom, but you're going to, you know, bake it 350 for probably 10-15 minutes, if longer, if it's a big pepper. But that sounded good to me too. So stuffed red or yellow peppers. This is another one. If you go to farmers markets, you're going to see lots of different kinds of lettuce. More so probably at the beginning of the season, maybe not so much now, because lettuce is one of those things, Travis knows, he grows it, but you put it right in the ground after it frosts, so it peaks earlier. But if you have a variety of lettuces in your salad, you're going to get lots of different flavor from the lettuce, not necessarily additives like salad dressing and, you know, things that are going to add fat. So the first one there is going to be the romaine and the iceberg. Those are more hearty. They're not going to have quite as much flavor, but they're a good base for your salad. Then there's peppery greens, the one that's more skinny and floury, like arugula or watercress. So that's going to add a little peppery taste. Then there's going to be a little bit more mild lettuces. So the one with the purple, that's your Boston Bibb spinach. No, I'm sorry, it's the one down here in the corner, and leafy green and red. And then there's some bitter ones. That's the one with the radicchio. That one's purple. escarole, and endive. So that's why when you buy vegetable or lettuce in the bag, you know, they have a lot of combinations of these lettuces. But if they're fresh, you're going to taste that flavor so much more than if it came from a bag. So if you can find some of this at a farmer's market, that's another one. You might have to split with people because they sell you a lot. Otherwise, you're going to be eating salads 3 meals a day and snacks for a week. But you're going to get a lot more flavor from fresh lettuce, and that is very good. So I put 2 different salad recipes in here, just a little variety that I thought maybe people weren't as familiar with. So this pita salad, you're going to use the romaine lettuce and then pita bread pieces. So maybe one day you're going to make a pita bread sandwich, and the next day you're going to toast your pita bread, cut it up, and put it on your salad with some tomato, red onion, cucumber, feta cheese, and mint if you like mint, which you could also get at a farmer's market. And then both of these salads have like a homemade salad dressing. This one's got lemon. I think the ice was a typo. Lemon juice, not lemon ice. Salt, olive oil, sugar, and salt. If you wanted to substitute Splenda for sugar, you could. And you could cut back on your salt too. I just put the original recipe in there. I probably wouldn't use them. I might not even use salt at all. When I make my dressings, I don't. And then the next one is a smoked salmon salad that just sounded wonderful to me. It's also got the red onion. It has watercress lettuce, smoked salmon, and then orange sections. And that dressing is going to be similar, but it's just got orange juice and olive oil and 1/8 teaspoon of salt, so not a whole lot. But the mandarin oranges and that orange in that dressing would be really good, I think. So making your own salad dressing, you're going to save on fat, you're going to save on salt. You also get more variety, you know, without keeping all those bottles in your refrigerator that you use like once or twice and then you get tired of them. So if you have one of those salad shaker dressing things, you know, you can make your own, and adds quite a bit of variety. So here's some other things you could put on your salad for variety, also maybe for different health aspects. So nuts and dairy can be our alternative protein sources, if you will, non-meat. Also beans, so pecans, walnuts, almonds, sunflower seeds. Those are also easy to keep in the house, you know. Fruit is also another good thing to add to salads, another way to get fruit in, but it is very low in calorie. Craisins, I love on my salads. Dried apricots, grapes, peaches, strawberries, pineapple, blueberry, you know, all those kinds of things are really good in the summer. Especially with, like, you could make another one of those citrus salad dressings like the slide before. That would be good with those. Dairy is another way you can get your protein in on your salad. You want to buy low-fat dairy, you know, like parts, 2% milk cheeses. Whiter cheeses are usually lower in fat than orange cheeses, that kind of stuff. Hard-boiled eggs. Eggs are not as bad as we once thought they were for our total cholesterol. So you can actually have a couple a day if you want, versus 3 a week. Now they say you can eat them every day if you want, and it's not going to increase your total cholesterol. So it's kind of a shift in mind frame for a lot of people. Feta cheese or
I sometimes use goat cheese.
Goat cheese, or, you know, those cheeses, they have stronger flavor, so you don't have to use as much. Blue cheese, that kind of stuff, so they are high in fat, but you don't have to use as much, and then maybe you don't use as much salad dressing, so you're going to cut your calories that way, yeah. Or cottage cheese, if you're not watching your salt intake. Cottage cheese is creamy. You can use that sometimes instead of a salad dressing. For some people that works. And then beans, if you like beans, they're high in fiber, very low in fat. They're protein, they're inexpensive. You know, I can't say enough about beans. So garbanzo, black pinto, black-eyed peas, all those things are really good on a salad. So I put this in for my population that I was talking to before because, well, I don't know if you like beets. I really don't like beets, but it seems like maybe the older generation really liked beets. So I put this one in there because you can find them at farmers markets, usually not very expensive. And this, I mean, it sounds good. It's got apple cider vinegar, orange juice. It's even got Granny Smith apples in there. So I mean, it sounded good. It just, maybe my mom would make it. I might try it, but it's probably not something I would make myself. But I thought people would enjoy it, so I put it in there. And it's very lots of deep, rich color, so lots of good vitamins in there.
You guys like beans?
I love beans.
Yeah.
You? Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe you should try that and give it a
She used
shot.
to raise them in our garden years
Yeah.
ago.
I pickle them.
Yeah.
Pickle 'em?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And you can eat the greens off the top, too.
Oh, yeah.
really?
Yeah. Betty made a recipe the other day with some beet greens.
Oh, I bet that was good.
Yeah, it was good.
So this is just a slide matching up the benefits of some of these things that maybe you wouldn't think of. Avocados, we all know, are pretty good for us. They're the bottom one. 2 slices are a good source of monounsaturated fatty acid, vitamin E, and potassium. So get some vitamins in there. Red pepper is going to be half a cup equals 100% of our vitamin C and 80% of the daily recommended intake of vitamin A. So if you're feeling a cold coming on, not only oranges, but red peppers are also great, only half a cup. So that's pretty easy, dip red peppers, slice them up, that kind of thing. Or put them in a stir fry, whatever. Almond butter, which I've never had myself, but almonds are higher in monounsaturated fatty acids than peanuts, so it's better for us. So that's gonna be the top choice. Pears, that one's half a cup equals 3 grams of fiber if we keep the skin on. Dried fruit, that one is a 1/4 of a cup is 1 serving of fruit. People usually ask me especially if you're diabetic, because the sugar in there. So the smaller your hand. And then pesto is something you can either buy or make at home. Got some greens, some monounsaturated fatty acids. That's the second choice. It's a good source of magnesium and calcium also, the pesto. So this next slide.
One thing that of course, husband's the cook in our house, but what he does with our pesto is we grow basil, so we'll get a lot of basil, and so he'll make up a lot of pesto. Then what he does with the leftovers, put it in nice cube trays, freeze it,
That's a good idea.
and then wrap it up, and then a couple of cubes is about what you need to put on pasta for a dinner. It's really easy.
Or these are some examples of things you can do. You can even spread it on a sandwich, like grilled chicken or turkey, kind of spice it up if it's something that you eat every
We use it
day.
as a base on our homemade pizza sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and even, you can puree up anything and kind of put it in other things. That reminds me of, pureeing up greens and just mixing them in with a pasta sauce. You don't notice they're in there because tomato has such strong flavor, but it'll sneak in some extra vitamins. So turkey spinach, red pepper wrap, that's a different spin on a plain old sandwich. Chicken salad, you can put a little avocado in there, sprouts, radish, can give things a lot of flavor without much calories if you like spicy stuff. We bought some radishes, they're called a watermelon radish. They're really pretty, they were like pink circles on the inside. They were really spicy, I could only eat a 1/4 of a slice. They were that spicy, but they were very pretty. I like looking at them, but I couldn't eat them. But the next one was putting pears on your sandwich, like a turkey with cheese, put pear slices on there. Some people like apple slices on their sandwiches, so it gives a little more fiber, a little crunch, that kind of thing. Making chicken salad, I don't know if you guys put fruit in your chicken salad, like craisins, grapes, mandarin oranges, all that kind of stuff gives it a little extra flavor that's really good. Or peanut butter, or they suggested almond butter with bananas. So that was another kind of twist to get fruit or vegetable on your salad. This was another sandwich idea. I liked it because it had non-fat yogurt in there. It wasn't all like Miracle Whip. They put the club with some non-fat yogurt in there. It's got bacon, tomato, and sweet apple diced in there. So just a different way to get some fruits and vegetables in. Guacamole. Not sure if you guys have ever made guacamole. They're, if you see avocados that aren't too expensive, here's a good one with tomato and onion and garlic and a little cayenne pepper. Obviously, that if you don't like spicy things could be optional, but guacamole. And this was kind of geared at my previous audience. Stretching the food budget, if you make a meal plan for the week, and that way you buy what you need for the week and use leftovers, so you don't just use it, maybe you're going to grill chicken and use it 3 times, not just let it sit in your refrigerator. So if you don't have a plan, you're more likely to have leftovers and waste. So if you kind of plan it out on Sunday or whenever you're going to do your food shopping, you're probably going to have a better chance of not wasting things. Doing it yourself, obviously you're going to save money there. So doing your prep work when you have time, maybe on the weekend or on your day off or whatever, is going to help you out there. Another big thing is if you don't eat meat at every meal, a lot of times you're going to save money because meat's one of the more expensive things we have at our meals. So we really only need 4 to 8 ounces of protein a day, and you can get that through dairy or egg, beans, other things. So if you don't eat meat at every meal, you might save money that way. In time, meat sometimes takes longer to prep than other things. And then eating more vegetables, like we were saying, if you can buy in bulk, you might get them to be less expensive. So that'll help you stretch your food budget. Picnic tips, I just kind of threw this in there because a lot of people do picnic more this time of year. And hand hygiene and food safety is a big thing, just not cross-contaminating, cutting things before you get there, keeping them cool in your refrigerator, and only keeping things out of the refrigerator for 4 hours, otherwise you're out of that safety zone for time and temperature. And then packaging, like obviously raw meat separate from raw vegetables, keeping them apart, that kind of thing, so you're not getting germ cross-contamination. So just something to think about there. And then keeping your cooler, I thought this was a good one, in your air-conditioned car, not your trunk, because it gets really hot back there, obviously. So even if you have ice in your cooler, doesn't mean you're going to be okay there. And then trying to get some physical activity when you get out. Bring your frisbee, football, soccer ball, something like that. Right now, people are not real excited about picnicking, but maybe a month from now, it's going to be something that's going to be more enjoyable. So just something to think about. And then bringing fluids are going to be important to keep yourself hydrated. So enjoy yourself. If you don't have something, try to substitute something else. Remember that variety is the spice of life. Finding new recipes and trying new foods is always fun and what we recommend. And being healthy and feeling well. That's kind of why we're here today. So if there's anything you guys want recipes for, ideas for, we're thinking about doing like a weekly recipe while we're doing this farmer's market thing with maybe some different ingredients that you haven't used before, just to get people excited about things. But if you want specific vegetable recipes, I did put some references on here. Parents.com has some really good recipes. Summer Meal Ideas. BettyCrocker.com has like 5 ingredient recipes. You can search fruit and veggies, morematters.com. You can search by a specific fruit or vegetable, and they'll give you, or a meal, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, mealtime. That is one of my favorite websites. And then Dole 5 a Day has fruit recipes from Dole. So that, Cooking Light, I got some stuff out of. So that's just kind of my reference page. So lots of resources out there, but ultimately just want you guys to go out and eat fresh and go to the farmers markets this summer. So any questions? No? Well, let us know if you do have some, and spread the word about the farmers market because we're excited about it.
On farmers markets, do they all claim not to use pesticides, or is there
No,
any way
not all.
you know?
You can ask the grower, or sometimes they'll say signs, they'll say like all organic or no pesticides used or that kind of thing.
Right now, officially in Nebraska, there's no certified organic grower. But there's a lot. A lot of them will still tell you that they follow a lot of organic practices, but they're not officially, because it does take it's quite the process to get.
And you hear that a lot, or
Not
all
all
organic, and what does that mean?
Not only that, but even, if they're farming, they have no control over what the farmer on the next, is
Right.
doing as far as what they're spending. We were just, yesterday we were driving and back from York, and there was a crop duster out. Well, if there's a crop duster flying over, spraying stuff, that's the same problem the wine growers and grape growers have too, because they're not supposed to have any kind of, pesticides or fertilizers or anything on their grapes, and that's really hard if the farmer next door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Really good. I learned a lot.
Oh, exactly.
Good recipes.